There was 3 clean clicks deep in my spine, and I knew something wasn't right. But as you know, I'm almost ashamed, but yeah. But I came back up anyways. I finished the rep. I finished the whole set. Matter of fact, I finished all my back workout because that's who I was back then. Nothing is going to keep me away from my glory. Hello, this is Emmanuel Beatty with Performer Parish Coaching, and welcome back to my channel. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. When people hear DDD or Degenerative Disc Disease, they assume their back is broken or worn out for good. Now, that's not what it actually means. It's a label doctors use for discs that have changed over time, discs that don't handle stress the way they used to. And that could be genetics, as you age, previous injuries, years of loading, or just your lifestyle and poor recovery. Your discs are shock absorbers. When recovery doesn't keep up with pressure, tolerance drops. That's why back pain can feel sudden even when it isn't. And most of the time, it's not one bad rep, it's pressure stacking up over years until your spine just, frankly, just stops tolerating it. Once I understood that, the fear stopped. Management became my new goal. Now, for years, I trained heavy. Squats, deadlifts. I run the gamut on the 5x5, 3x10, whatever. I was on it. Or German volume training. And back in those days, I learned the way most guys do, watching videos, figuring it out as I went. My mindset was simple. Show up, load the bar, don't back down. I mean, I just attack the weight as soon as I go in. So pain, to me back then, pain wasn't a warning. Pain was just the price you paid. Now, one day in the gym, I had loaded 550 pounds on my back on the squat rack. Headphones in, music loud, eyes locked in the mirror. And in that mirror, I saw people watching. Guys who lift heavy weight, you know that look. Seeing that, my attention shifted just enough that I stopped owning my breath, the way I should have. As I went down, I felt it. I felt click, click, click. I know that should have been enough, but back in those days, there was 3 clean clicks deep in my spine, and I knew something wasn't right. But as you know, I'm almost ashamed, but yeah. But I came back up anyways. I finished the rep. I finished the whole set. Matter of fact, I finished all my back workout because that's who I was back then. Nothing is going to keep me away from my glory.
Get up. Won't let a stone take my glory.
On my mind, you don't rack the bar. You don't disappoint. By the time I left the gym, my leg literally, I was walking out of the gym and my leg literally started curling in on itself. And what should have been like a 3-minute walk to my car, it took probably over 20 minutes. I was embarrassed because I didn't want to people see me. So I was scooting, on the thing and waiting for people to leave and then kept scooting. That's wild, but whatever. As soon as I got home, I told my wife, I was like, babe, I'm hurt and it's bad. For that next couple of weeks, especially the first week, I could barely get out of the bed. It took me 20 minutes to kind of warm up and get myself out of the bed. I had to position myself to roll out. And then when I got to the floor, I was crawling to the bathroom. I mean, it was bad. I should have took that for a lesson to stop. But that mindset, I still didn't stop after I got better.
It's a must. Pain, it is a necessity of growth. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I dropped the weight and told myself I was being smart. That's what I thought. You know what? We'll just drop the weight. But it was still the same lifts, the same intensity, and that same attitude. And to be honest, I would regularly put, 4 plates on there, 405. And I would go down and I would go all the way, like the guy said, ass to grass. So I was just trying to follow what those guys were doing. and I would come down and I would come up with such force that the bar would be coming off my back, and it would come down, and I would feel that the bar just bending with all the weight. It made me feel like, yeah, I'm a, ain't nobody doing this. Yeah, of course they're not. So over time, my back started going out with smaller and smaller things until it wasn't even heavy squats anymore. It was simply just picking up something, on the floor, like a grocery bag, or getting out of the car. My back would pop, like, oh my God. And you're out for 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 weeks. Wow. And that's when it finally hit me. This wasn't toughness, this attitude and how I was doing things. And it definitely wasn't just bad luck. It was pure stupidity and stubbornness. And I can admit that. It was trying to train like the guys I watched, guys like C.T. Fletcher, without respecting my own structure, my own history, my own limits. I respected that mindset. And you know what? Honestly, I still do. Get after it, but be smart about it. But intensity without self-awareness is how you break yourself. You have to know your own body. You've got to be honest about what it's telling you. So that's when spinal decompression finally started to make sense to me. For years, my spine lived under constant compression, heavy lifting, sitting, driving, work, stress, pressure all day, every day. And I kept trying to solve that by, I know. I just push it harder. The pain is just weakness leaving the body. That was my mentality. So stop being a and get after it.
Stop being a bitch and come on.
So anyway, sometimes the issue isn't just strength. It's that your spine never actually gets a break. Decompression is simply the opposite of compression. It gives the spine space again. And obviously there's other things, rehydrating the spine, all that. The simplest way I found to do that was the dead hang. You hang from a bar, you let gravity, do the work. Not a max effort, not a grip test, not a toughness contest, who can be there the longest. No, it's not about all that. And like I said, it took me a while to get there. The goal is simply relief. Now, disclaimer / reality check. If you have sharp nerve pain shooting down your leg, worsening, or numbness or weakness or recent surgery, you shouldn't force this. Don't force this, actually. If you start hanging, and I know that word just drives me wild a little bit, but it's part of the video. I gotta say it. If hanging immediately makes things worse, you should stop. This is about helping your back, not proving something. So here's how I do it. I grab the bar, and I actually do it in, I'll do it long, I'll do it, medium, and I'll do sides, to stretch the shoulders and stuff. I'll grab a pull-up bar, keep the shoulders lightly engaged. Don't completely drop. Let your body feel the stretch. If you feel sharp pain, stop. If if there's sciatica or your back like pops and that pain that you get, well, stop. I would start with 3 hangs for about 20 seconds each. As your back tolerates it better, work up to 2 hangs for about 30 seconds after that. But you're really doing it total for about a minute. And a little bit more on that, like I noticed too when I'd grab the bar, you're gonna feel the pull in your lats, you're gonna feel, your mid and lower back, you'll feel the pop. You'll feel in even your lower back, you can feel that pop, and you're like, wow. And for some people, that'll be painful though. So again, you got to be careful. So, that's your disclaimer, just letting you know. Because if your back is sensitive, I would use a box or a bench underneath you. That way you keep your feet lightly, you keep your feet on the ground or the bench or the box so it lightly supports you, so you're not doing the full weight of the full hang, but you're just kind of feeling around for it. And, after a while, you'll find your own footing. I did, and it worked. So again, you're using your legs for support when those legs are on things. You're not letting your entire body weight, pull on your spine right away, because that's not cheating. That's controlling the load. As your back tolerates it better, you rely less on the support and you let more of your body hang. Again, I can't stress this enough. There is no prize for full body weight on day 1. And honestly, for me, what this did, this stopped the spiral that I was going through. Flare-ups, my back settled down, My flares became less and less frequent. Training became possible again. I mean, I could still get in there and I could tear up some weight, but I do my decompression and these exercise and certain exercises before I even start. So in the next video, I'll break down the movements and stretches that build on this, the stuff that keeps your back calm, controlled, and resilient once decompression is in place. Now, if this resonates with you, training hard and dealing with setbacks and figuring out how to keep moving forward without wrecking yourself, that's exactly why I wrote my books. Complete Fitness Handbook. It breaks down training, recovery, and structure the right way. No hype, no gimmicks, just long-term thinking. And then, it's all kinds of stuff in there, guys. Balancing Male Hormones covers energy, recovery, performance from the perspective of natural athletes who've simply been in the trenches. Both are available on Amazon, and the links will be in the description. This video reflects my experiences and opinions. It's not medical advice. Do your own research, make the decisions that are right for you. And as always, perform or perish.